Can you hear the sound in the background?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay, no? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, shackle breakers. Welcome back to another episode of DIY Small Business Owners Asia. And today we have an awesome guest. And his sharing would open up and blow your mind away, like you're going to shackle break your the chains that hold you back in your business. Today, our guest will blow your mind away about playing big in life. Okay, so let's hear his story today. How did the normal everyday metal art designer in Mumbai, hit hard by COVID, instead of closing shop, turn in turn into a metropolitan hero, keeping the elderlies alive and feeding them up to 100,000 meals a day to the city dwellers? Okay, so Zohair Diwan is the owner of the metal art fabrication studio, zohairdiwan.com in South Mumbai. And as circumstances sometimes bring out the reluctant hero in us, he now formed an NGO in the midst of the COVID situation called NASH. Nobody ever sleeps hungry. Okay, let's hear his story today. Welcome, Zohair. How did you get into the metal art fabrication business?
See, my family, my elder brother, we were having this metal fabrication business, and we were into construction. Like we used to construct buildings and factory sheds and all those stuff, construction items. And while playing along, like we had a unit, and just like tinkering it. Like I'm a science graduate, I'm not even qualified to be an artist, like academically. And I was just playing along with metals, and new forms started getting created, and suddenly it became a business. And a friend of mine, uh, who's in Bangalore, and he got two bungalows, two beautiful big bungalows to design, and both were brothers. And he said, I wanted something unique, and I said, let's play along and let's create something new for this. And we created the railings and everything in the bungalow as an art form, and they were super hit. And then since it's, I am not looking back.
Wow. Yeah, so it was an accident that became a passion, an obsession. Yeah. So while like I
Yes.
was checking out your website, I saw beautiful designs and it was creatively crafted. What inspires that level of creativity?
So there was this thing, like basically in construction, the metal part that we use, they are for a purpose. Like if I'm going to make a sculpture that's, or make a staircase or the railing, it serves a purpose. So it was becoming pretty mundane. Every time we put in the same motif, we just do some manipulations here and there, and the designings are all like very symmetrical, or like the run of the mill kind. And it was like kind of, okay, how would it be if the railing or the grill or the gate or any item in the household that we normally use tells a story.
Hmm.
And with the telling of the story, it also serves the purpose. So I don't have a free run like an abstract artist to do anything. Like I have the purpose of the railing, the purpose of the thing also needs to be served. So it was a challenge, and we just started it, and it's coming up very well everywhere.
Yeah. What I got from what you're sharing is the purpose of the functionality of that thing. If it's a staircase, then it still serves the staircase, but the design function of it can tell some story uh, simultaneously. Yeah, beautifully put. Yeah, and I can see that if you can create this, like people who are listening to this, if they can create their products as doing the same thing, if their products can tell a story also and serve the function of their products also, that would totally help their products sell itself. Yeah, great. All right. And when COVID happened, right? Did your business got impacted? And like, what were you dealing with at that time?
So we were into many things. Like we were into construction also, we were into development also, we were creating bungalows also. everywhere in real estate. And plus, uh, in Mumbai at that point of time, there was in India there was an economic slowdown which was going on. So the impact of it, especially the construction industry, it was very huge, very huge, and we were dealing with that. And in fact, like we should also contribute something to the society. Like if our businesses are, impacted so much, what about those people who are, like in service having 10 to 15,000 salary, and now what they must be going through? So we said, okay, we'll start with that. So we put up some money, we went to a caterer, and we said, okay, make a meal, make 100 meals. So that the caterer made that 100 meals in a big vessel. We brought it home. We packed it in small containers. And the first day, we packed that 100 meals and we distributed it. So this was going on for 8 months. From 100, it became 300 every single day. We were distributing meals, and people from first my friend, then other friends, then my families, and everywhere it on Facebook and everywhere it got viral, and a lot of people joined in. And I had a booking for two months in advance for the meals to be distributed every day. Somebody would celebrate their birthday, somebody would celebrate their marriage anniversary, somebody would put the food in the loving memory of some departed soul of the family. So this was going on before the pandemic.
Mm.
So and then the pandemic struck, and on the 22nd or something of March 2019,
20.
2020, the first lockdown was announced, and we could see the lines which were like 200 300 people. The queue was of 200 300 people normally. It became so long that the entire lane used to get covered. And we said, "Arey Bab, this has become very huge for us." And this was, then we got, okay, now we have been struck by pandemic and the effect of it, and we'll need to like go to the next level now. So this was how life was before pandemic, and then suddenly pandemic impacted us all, and the old way of being, and all our actions were, we knew like right now, okay, now they are not going to suffice here to address the current situation. We'll need to look for a whole new set of actions.
Yeah.
So that was that point, that juncture, that threshold,
So
and we expanded big time.
what were the obstacles you faced, and how did you overcome them?
So when we were feeding people from 300 people, we could go to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 very easily, because that caterer could manage. But the lines were getting longer, and there were suddenly requirements from other areas in the, like in Mumbai. And the caterer also had his limitations. His laborers also were like, not, they were trying to leave Mumbai. So we started new kitchens. I used to go to the market every day in the morning at 7 o'clock, buy the vegetables, and in the night, like at 2 o'clock, some vegetable vendor would call me, "Sir, we have got this potato of this size. Will it be okay for you?" So my sleep, bleep, every pattern was like, in fact, my family's pattern was like totally disrupted. That we were like dealing with a big time, and the lines were getting bigger. We expanded into other areas also, and we said this model of catering, from 300 we could go to 5,000, 10,000. But now this also will need to be addressed. We'll need to further expand from here in a new way. And again, we said that we were like thinking of putting multiple kitchens, and we had put up multiple kitchens across Mumbai. But then it became too much work, because distribution in itself was a huge challenge, because the police were not allowing our people to go across from this area to that area because of the COVID lockdowns. And then we started asking for donations from people. Don't give us money, give us in kind, give us food in kind. And the best of the hotels and the best of the restaurants and the best of the NGOs joined us. And soon from 300 to 10,000, 10,000 to 1 lakh, 15,000 meals per day, we could expand. So we had like given approximately the cost of that meal would be 12 crores rupees, 50 lakhs meals in the 3 month period till May 2020. We could do this. And it was from Mumbai, one corner to the another corner of Mumbai. Totally, we could, spread out and support people in this time.
Okay, let me give a bit of context to the listeners. Okay, so lakhs here means 100,000. So what he's saying is the meals per day reach 115,000, and also it was costing around like 50 million rupees per day to make the meals. And for people living in metropolitan cities, a bit of context is that when the pandemic happened, what happened was the people who came from the villages in India, there was an exodus, so they went back to the cities, to their villages. So the city was not just in lockdown, but there weren't any uh, like services being fulfilled over there. Yeah, so the finding of people to make food and cooking and all that wasn't easy. And the people who were still there were either like locked up in their homes, or they were people who were on the streets that didn't have food to eat. And in the middle of all that, he's being modest over here, but he has managed to enroll people to come and be behind his cause. Yeah, created food that was undeliverable to people to be deliverable, and to ask for collaboration from the city governments and the police and all that, and the NGOs to back him up. So that's all happening in the midst of COVID, and he himself put his life at stake, going into the markets and delivering the food. So that's maybe he wouldn't want to share all that, but I just want to bring that up. All right. So Zohair, you have anything to say about that?
Yes, and this was not just about food. Like, see, when we were connected to the people on the road, in Mumbai, we could see many such needs arising. So one need that we saw was like people, the healthcare facility in Mumbai was totally overwhelmed. There was such a huge number of people going into hospitals. The hospitals were full. In fact, getting an ambulance was a big challenge. So to get an ambulance to take somebody from our home, our house to the hospital, it took 5 hours, 6 hours. And in COVID, we saw like that the oxygen level in the patient's blood would drop, and that would aggravate the situation. So in that, we were present because we were on the road, we were distributing meals around the hospitals. We could see people having an oxygen cylinder with them, waiting for the turn so that the hospitals would admit them. And for the hospitals to admit them, it would take, the entire night and the entire day, and they would be just in their cars. So that gave us an idea that a lot of people are not getting ambulances. Our own, one of our team members, Tabassum, she lost her husband. Her husband became unconscious, and for 2 days he couldn't get a hospital bed. And we had the local MLA support and everything with us, and even then we couldn't get him a bed. And by the time he got admitted in the hospital, in 2 3 hours, like he died. So we said, if we are so connected now, like, having, we literally, I had uh, every political party connected to me, most of the NGOs, most of the corporates, like, they were connected with us in distributing the meals. It was a team and teamwork effort. And with so much connections, our team member goes through this ordeal that she couldn't get a decent hospital bed for her husband, even when the local MLA is standing for her. What would be the condition of a normal Mumbaiker? So we said now we'll create a Nash medical warrior group, and we started putting doctors and everybody in that group, and we started serving oxygen cylinders to Mumbaikars, because that was the first thing we say. Okay, if the person gets the oxygen cylinder to them, so their oxygen level, which was dropping consistently in the blood, you know that could be addressed. So that was the immediate first aid. We got in touch with all the ambulances. We made a list. So whoever is in any trouble, first of all, the first thing, we would talk with them on the phone, and we would say, okay, we are there with you, you are not alone. And that itself, that simple statement, that we are there with you and we know what to do, that would bring in a lot of relief to that family which was like inflicted with that. Because in that time, the neighbors don't never used to come to help, because everybody was afraid of COVID. If we'll go and we'll support them, so we will also get infected by COVID. So the family who found themselves, at the receiving end of this infection, they would be like some kind of in like a pariah, like they were like kind of an outcast. Nobody
Hmm.
would touch them. So we standing for them first brought in the relief, then we would support them in getting ambulances, then our contacts would search for a hospital for them. And if the hospitals are not like like available at a point of time, so we would give them oxygen cylinders. Then we would give them doctors on the call, so that they have some medications, some medical support, for them wherever they are. And it saved a lot of life. A lot of people started getting treatment in their home. I had people like ask, crying in front of me, ke Zoher bhai, I have to admit my mom in the hospital, I don't have the money, I'll have to sell my house for her to get admitted. And we could provide them with the oxygen cylinder, we could provide them with the doctors, and they could be treated at home. So this many families, they got impacted by that. We also started, you know uh, medicines at cost price. We used to buy medicines, and at the same price that which we bought the medicines, we used to give them to the people. And lot many people, we gave medicines for free. Even we used to sponsor the treatment, lot of school fees for children. Also, those other things also started coming up, and we used to we started addressing those also. And suddenly it became a big movement of Mumbaikars for Mumbaikars. So it was no longer, see, the thing started with two people, and with team and teamwork. And as the challenges grew, the team also grew, and we all came together. It was a massive movement. It was miraculous. Like, it was, it is like, it gives me such fulfillment. And it's something like it's a lifetime's deal. Like, I have done, like, it gives give me purpose for my life. And I'm glad that this happened, and like, we could stand up to it and deliver.
Yeah. So I can hear that you are a match for the game. You raise yourself up to be a match for the game, and also this purpose gave you a life worthy of living, and that's what's fulfilling to you. Now, like, how did the I don't know if this was already in the process, but how did the NGO called Nobody Ever Sleeps Hungry or Nash came about?
See, the name Nobody Ever Sleeps Hungry, it came from a friend. And we were like into like, okay, a group has been formed, and if a name is given, to we have some kind of like, some kind of identity, in the sense that people, if we go for asking for funds, so we have some formation, organization. And we didn't want to give a name which was like kind of, this thing. Our purpose, our intention, we wanted it to be on the fore, in the front. So nobody ever sleeps hungry is not a name. It's the intention. It's the fore. Our things, our team. We always say to our team, we are here to serve the intention. Nobody ever sleeps hungry. There is no Zoher here. There is no anybody here. No political parties there. There were like times when political parties would tell me, you have to choose us. Okay, either you have to go with that party, or you have to, come with us. And we say, we choose the hungry. So the purpose. Nobody ever sleeps hungry. We said, okay, this is who we are. Nobody ever sleeps hungry. A walking, talking team of intention, and that is who nobody ever sleeps hungry team is.
Right. Looking back, right, on the hindsight, is there anything you would have done differently?
See, as far as the food part is concerned, like we grew miraculously. But yeah, in the healthcare section, we saw many families going bankrupt with the hospital bills and not getting these supports at the right time. And we were also novices, like we were also not prepared for it. So if I said, like, if God gave us this grace that we could start 8 months before for the food part, so I like, if we could have started with this medical facilities also 8 months ahead, a head start would have saved many more lives.
All right. So a little bit of sidetrack. This is an ad scoop. So for those people who are looking for marketing secrets or marketing tools to support your business, there'll be a link in the description or the comments, and you can see you can press the link and go into that. And there'll be some most of the marketing secrets there are free, so you can use that for your own businesses. All right. Now coming back, so here, did the goodwill transfer to your business? And if so, how?
You see, my business was a very customized business, like, so I already have a lot of customers, and we were always having orders which yeah, like we were always having bookings,
Overbooked. You're already
you
queued
know,
ahead.
overbooked. Huh.
Yeah.
But the issue that the pandemic got was of the labor. So the labor, and in my kind of work, like when we do fabrication work, like, so I can get any labor and I can do the work. But when it comes to metal artist, like that intricate work, so there it requires a temperament.
A specific
It
kind of
requires some skills which are
yeah.
very different, like which are very minute and intricate. Yeah. And for that, it was a challenge, and that challenge is still there. But yes, we have got work, and we are here, and we are seeing, like every day it's a new day. Every day it's a new day, and the things were like, coming to back to the normal, like in December and Jan and Feb. We had also closed one of our DCS center at Najambagh. Okay, now like COVID is gone and we are now safe. And then March happened, and now we are back to square one again. So again the game started.
Yeah. And what I can learn from what you're sharing is we don't have to be stuck to our business. A business is just one facet of our living our life. And if we play big, the business challenges would always be there, but it'll also take care of itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so we are in the business of living. And I see what happened, like, this pandemic gave us an opening where we could see that the family doesn't consist of me, my wife, and my daughter. Means we are taken care of, like we can survive this pandemic. But there are people who need support, and they don't need support just because they are like, some wayward individual on the road, a maverick. They are normal family like us, and who are into hard times because of the pandemic. They have lost their jobs. They have lost whatever resources they have got since the pandemic carried on forward to for a year. So the concept of family, from being a nuclear family, it has expanded to my neighbors, my entire colony, my area, Mumbai, India, and the world. So we have expanded as a human being, and this is not a phenomena which is unique to Zoher. This is a phenomena which I see in a lot of human beings here right now who are standing for Mumbaikars, who are standing for that every individual needs to get food here, water here, medicines here, healthcare here, you know. So there is this expansion is in the air where people are now like no longer living for themselves. Means 12 crores rupees of money just it's just one small bit I'm telling you. And from just one NGO, there are so many NGOs who contributed to us. If we go on to see our oxygen cylinders, 72 lakhs, so approximately 7 millions for the oxygen cylinders. And right now, I have just come from giving an interview in the on the national television about the scarcity of oxygen cylinder. Yesterday, two hospitals, they approached us. Government hospitals approached us for asking for oxygen cylinders. So we all have expanded, and it was about like creating of teams. So there is a concept like either I can be a Gandhi or I can cause Gandhis. So Nash, nobody ever sleeps hungry. We are very clear. We are out here to cause Gandhis. एक गांधी में कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. We are here to cause every Mumbaiker as Gandhis. We have taken up the challenge. So in our blood donation camp, Mumbai is going through an acute shortage of blood right now. Acute shortage of blood right now, and Nash has taken up this challenge. We are actually taking a unicyclist on the roads of Mumbai, and we are going with him on a rally, inviting Mumbaikers to have blood donation camps. And there are so many people coming up in small societies of theirs, and they are having blood donation camps and serving Mumbai now. So it's like invoking leadership, in your environment where everybody shows up as wonderful human beings who are responsible and cause in the matter of of their environment, just not their family, but their entire environment.
Wow. Yeah. I this is great that you took the opportunity to come and share this story and inspire other small business owners that if they pick the challenge that's much bigger than their business, then the business challenges just become a small game. And and how how an ordinary human being can make a huge difference, a huge impact to the world. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Is there anything else you would like to share to other small business owners who are dealing with the COVID situation?
uh, my invitation to them is, take a game, which is take a project, stand for serving and playing for a game which is bigger than your life,
Yeah.
bigger than your life. And if we are like, if I would be just in my business only, yeah, okay, I would have want some more money in that. But the kind of conversation that engulf like every night, we have our rents to pay, we have our lot of stuffs to pay, you know and that is so overbearing. But when you stand to serve, something miraculous happens. The situation, the things, they may change or they may not change, but how you relate to them, that shifts. And it gives you so much power, so much courage, and suddenly miraculous things happens. I don't know how I am paying my rents also, like, the way I'm paying. Something miraculously, somebody walks in and I do only one job, but that one job offers me such a huge thing that I can pay back my whatever rentals and everything very easily. So taking a game which is bigger than your life and connecting to the universe connects to you.
Yeah. So how's this interview for you?
First of all, thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for allowing me to share, this miracle, this magical things that manifested, like, when a lot many Mumbaikers stood up as one. So thank you for, allowing me and giving me this opportunity. The interview also, this was an extempore interview. I mean, I came from, like, I was dealing with a lot of stuff right now in the background, and somehow even the computer was mine, desktop was not working. I have come on my daughter's laptop, and she doesn't allow me to use a laptop. Fortunately, she did now, right now. So so it was like kind of uh, so, and languaging it all extempore, like, I also never knew, like, like, okay, this much has been accomplished. So thank God, thank you grace, thank you universe, for allowing us to be expanded human beings to deal with like whatever is upfront
Yeah.
to the best that we could.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a world where people take on big challenges, and in that game, they stand up as leaders. And you are a real demonstration of that and a clear future of what our future looks like. So thank you for leading the path, leading the way, holding the torch. Yeah.
And thank you all the NGOs, like Giants Baikala, Rotary Queen's Necklace, Rotary Mumbai Central, uh, uh, Garima, Amafa, so many NGOs, all the corporates like Taj and Thakkars, ISKCON, all these like NGOs and corporates, like who stood by us, who believed in us, and who stood by us and who supported us to distribute this and make a difference to Mumbaikar when it really mattered. Thank you all for being a team witness. Nobody ever sleeps hungry, and we have the situation is not over right now. We have another innings to play now. In cricket there are always two innings, so we have a second inning right now, and we'll play, and we'll play to the best of our ability. So thank you everyone
Yeah.
for supporting us.
All right. Okay, we are towards the end of our interview now. Is there anybody who you would like to see interviewed here?
Yeah, my friend Josefa Sampalwala, and he's somebody who, like his business was impacted. He had a fire in his factory, and everything got gutted. And from there, he again rebuilt the business, and then pandemic came. And the pandemic came, the footfalls got less, and the pandemic has its impact. Everybody knows, and inside of that, he could again recreate his own business in a very new way. And he used, the social media marketing, and he could create a big business out of this breakdown.
Wow.
Means he created a business which was, in normal times his business was X number, so this became some 10x in the
Wow.
pandemic. So I,
That,
I, I would like to invite him here
great.
for the next interview.
That would be
Josefa Sample. He's really a sample. He's my childhood buddy.
that would be a real inspiration for people listening. Yeah, that like yeah, you can take on the challenges of what life throws at you and turn out to be a bigger person. Yeah, thank you, and we would love to do an interview with him. Please connect us to him. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you for taking this on. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this story to the world and inspiring other people. And I think this would impact a lot of businesses out there to stand up and not like be stopped by the challenges the life throws at us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Take
Have
care.
fun.
Bye.